All right. Hi, everyone. We are live. Let me broadcast this. Okay. We're live. We're live in the Beachbody Champions page. Let me shut this off before a bunch of background noise comes. But we're so excited to welcome you all to this new coach training surge tonight. I'm Jamie Shepard. We've got, I'll go through the screen really fast, Jatana Jackson, Shelby Busk, Amanda Leibovitz, Courtney Bell, Stacy Warzak, Nikki Johnson, Kim Lima, April McDonald, and then in a short bit, we'll have Sarah Lenore and Megan Eggleston. So we are all in a corporate mastermind with Craig Collier, and in planning our new year, we decided that it would be very fun and exciting if we created a training opportunity, kind of like a big one-stop shop, a 90-minute surge, so that all of you folks who are excited to either restart your business or start your business, or maybe you're stuck in limbo and you're like, I don't know what I want to do, but there's a lot of energy around right now, that you would have some resources and tools, and more than anything, some direction, so that you could do whatever you wanted with this business. So that's our objective tonight. We have a PowerPoint that we'll share. Does anyone want to make sure that it's, can someone check the Champions page to make sure we're good in there? Oh, we are? Okay, good, thanks. And we have some great resources. So hopefully you printed off your color code wheel that was posted in the event. If not, we will show you what that looks like. You can just draw one on some notebook paper or print it off really fast. And this will be a little bit of an interactive training. So yes, it's 90 minutes. There will be times where you can, like, you know, go and implement for a few minutes so that you're not just in absorption overload for the next 90 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We also have two brand new coaches. So all of us, I wanted to say too, that we've been coaching for over 4 years. So we've been around the block a couple times in this business and love it. But we also recognize that we're far from new. We mentor new coaches, but this does not feel all the new scary feelings of being a new coach anymore. So we have Amanda Leibovitz and Shelby Busk, who both started in 2017. They had a great year. Shelby started in January and Amanda in June, and are going to NLC this year. And we wanted to offer them a chance to share what it feels like to be a new coach and give some new coach tips too. So we're going to weave that in as well. All right. Anything you guys want to add while I go and share this screen real fast? Ooh. I lost. Just kidding. Now you saw my messy desktop. Let me figure out where my, there we go. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get started. And Nikki and I are going to kick this off with a little activity. So just so you know that you're going to get a lot of information here for the next 90 minutes. And there's a lot of stuff you can do. And I'm sure a lot of you are already like trying to be everywhere at all times and don't even know which way to look. But we want you to just put up those new coach focus blinders and put on that like positive mindset hat that's just going to soak this in and take from this applicable tools that you can implement and do whatever you want. You came into this business, whether it was just to be an Autumn's test group or because you got great results, or maybe because you are inspired to change your life income-wise. But there was something that compelled you to say yes, right? Something that mattered to you. But before you became a coach, you've been someone entirely different your whole adult life. And so we want to make sure you know that we're going to honor that. And that's where we're going to kind of lead straight into that. So Nikki, do you want to take away?
Yeah, so this is the color wheel, and hopefully you guys all printed it out. If not, then you can just use a blank sheet of paper, and there's actually about 12 slots on this color wheel. So you want to aim for like 10 to 12. If you can fill in 12, that'd be great. The more you can do, the better. But you want to think about things that make you you, other than just that you're a Beachbody coach. A lot of times when we're posting on social media and we're talking about ourselves, we think, oh my gosh, especially as a new coach, like, what do I post about other than Beachbody? And you are far from just a Beachbody coach. And what's going to separate you from everybody else is all of the things that make you unique. So you want to write down in these colorful slots just adjectives or things about you that are unique. So, you know, maybe you're a mom, maybe, you know, you're a teacher, maybe you have a strong faith. So just anything that you can think of that is not Beachbody coach, you want to put in your color wheel. And that's kind of going to guide you and help you on your journey when you are trying to figure out not only things to talk about on social media, but maybe people that you want to start attracting into your business and people that you want to work with. And when you start being yourself and speaking your truth on social media, you will notice that the more people that come to you that are like you. And I just can't stress enough. I think it's so important that you do follow top coaches to kind of see what they're doing that's right, but don't do it so much that you start to post kind of what they're posting, or you start to take on kind of their persona, because that's not you. And you want to make sure that you stay true to yourself. So the weirder you are, the better. Like for me, I love tattoos and I have crystals, and I talk about all of those things on social media, and I like Harry Potter and just anything like dorky I love. So I want you guys to take some time right now and just start just brain dump on your piece of paper on these wheels, and don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh my gosh, well, I'm like, I have kids, and just whatever comes to you right now in this moment, like just write it down. And then of course you can come back to it later if you think of more things that are, you know, a little bit more unique than just those high level interests. But really dig deep here and go within yourself and think, what makes me unique? What makes me stand out from the crowd? And then really start to kind of brainstorm more on those things and ideas on those things. And Jamie, I don't know if you have any other points around that, but
No, I think that was great. Let us take a few minutes for you guys to do that, because we really want you to come away with this clear vision. And another way to go a little deeper with that, if you don't feel like you have a lot of hats you wear, even though I think we all do, it could also be what matters to you. Like, what matters to you? What triggered you to say yes to being a coach? Was it that you wanted to just get healthier, deeper accountability, feel better in your skin? What are those things that matter to you in the context of this business? Is it proper nutrition? Is it weight loss? Is it being able to, you know, as we heard at the Beachbody Challenge winner last year, like to get on a roller coaster with your kiddo? Like, what are those things that matter to you? Because those are also going to be the things that you're going to want to be loud about on social media, because it's going to also matter to the people that are out there waiting for you to find them. So we're just going to enjoy a couple minutes of nice, quiet awkwardness while you guys go and fill out your color wheel. And when you've got it filled out, go ahead and let's screenshot it in the comments of this.
Yeah, and I would actually love to see people type below some things that they might be adding to their color wheel. You know, maybe some passions that you have, just anything really that comes to mind. There's no wrong answer.
Correct. No wrong answer. Hi, everyone. Yep. So you're writing down the things that make you you, different hats you wear, different roles you play in life, things that matter to you. It also could be who you want to evolve into, you know, like if you want to be more of an environmentalist or an animal advocate, or have be a fur mom. Like, it could be things that you are evolving into as well. Not all 12 segments, because you want there to be a reflection of who you are today and who you've been. But it can be a mix of all those things. Oh, I love it. Guacamole lover, Jeep girl, unicorns, gardening, bar. Oh, I love bar. Crochet, being silly. Oh, I love these comments. Cancer fighter. That's huge. Author. These are awesome, you guys. I'm looking at the panel, some of our Zoom attendees here.
Ooh, tiny houses. I like that. I don't like tiny houses, though. I could never live in a tiny house.
Never. Oh my gosh. No, I couldn't fit my shoes in there. I'd be so sad.
And I'm sure some of you are thinking like, well, this doesn't fit in with a fitness coach and a Beachbody coach. And that's the point, is it doesn't have to. There's no like one box that Beachbody coaches fit into. But I think sometimes new coaches feel like they have to, like Nikki was saying, as you go follow successful coaches, you want to, they leave, success leaves clues, right? And you want to pick up on that. But at the same time, your path to success in this is being you. And it's like, as I'd say to myself, like, or my team, like, I'll fly that freak flag if you got it, I don't know if you've ever seen The Family Stone. The Christmas movie Family Stone's my favorite, but it's like he was telling Owen Wilson, or Luke Wilson was saying, like, you've got a freak flag, girl. You just got to fly it. If you got one, fly it. All right, so we're going to move on. If you've got those filled out, awesome. Keep working on it. But I want you to stay true to that, because everything you're going to hear tonight is going to really can come from this place, of who you are already and want to become. So keep those lists coming. We're going to go and jump right into our new coach perspective. And I'm so excited you guys get to meet Shelby and Amanda. These are two of the most amazing women that I've gotten to meet ever. And having them on our team this last year has been awesome. So I think there's no one better to share what it's like to be a new coach and what's possible in your first year than these two. So go take it away, ladies.
Start, guys. Hi, I'm Shelby. Like Jamie said, I've been coaching for a year now. It's going to be a year on the 8th, and I'm really excited to share this stuff with you guys. And I really want you to focus on this center portion here where it says your vision and your why, because all of these arrows that you see popping off on the sides kind of all stem from this one solid grounded area and bleeds into giving you the courage and the strength to keep moving forward. And this is really what's going to ground you, what's going to center you. Depending on how long you've been working as a coach, you've probably heard like the why that makes you cry, but it's really about getting and knowing that element that's making you want to start this, that's making you want to build this, who you want to share your life with, and who you want to help transform their lives. So knowing your audience and just being able to fully share your vision and your why behind your business, like really why you started this, the heart behind it. And that's what's going to help you to dive deeper into the process, to stay grounded when it gets really crazy and things kind of run all over the place. So just understand your vision and your why as the place where you're going to start cultivating your brand and your business. And I'm going to hand it off to Amanda to talk to you about setting dreams and goals based off of your vision and your why.
Cool. So hi, everyone. Like Shelby, I'm also a new coach. I started at the end of June, so I'm just over 6 months now, and it's been a wild ride. But kind of one thing that I learned right from the start, and I kind of brought in with me, was this idea that hope is not a game plan. So if you want to be successful in this business, you're going to have to set big goals and stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone. But in order to actually achieve those big goals, you have to set those little small goals, the daily goals, because showing up and doing them consistently is what adds up. So things like posting daily on your social media, expanding your network, building relationships, inviting, these should be like daily non-negotiables. I know they are for me. I know they are for Shelby. I know they are for everyone on this call. And they are really simple things to follow through with. We just have to hold ourselves accountable to doing them. And another really important thing is that the daily goals that we set for ourselves should match the magnitude of what our big dream vision board goals are. So if you want to be a one-star diamond coach in 6 months, it can be done. I've done it. But I wasn't doing the bare minimum of inviting only 3 people a day. So the reason you have your upline is to get that guidance and to have that check and balance to say, like, am I doing enough to reach the goals in the timeline that I want to set for myself? But that's the beauty of this business. We get to set our own goals and we get to hold ourselves accountable. We are our own boss. And life does get in the way, inevitably. And when we have that clear game plan, we can better prioritize what those daily tasks need to be in order to keep moving our business forward. So the takeaway here is that we don't achieve success simply because we put something on our vision board. We have to show up and actually do it. And it's also really fun. So I'm going to pass it on to Shelby to talk about adopting a growth mindset.
Okay, so like Amanda was saying, you have to have dreams and goals, and those things can be kind of scary sometimes, right? Amanda, you're making some noise.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Yeah, so those things can be kind of scary sometimes, and it really takes courage to push yourself forward and to move yourself forward, because you have to understand that you're probably going to fail. You're probably going to fall on your face. You're going to try things that aren't going to work. And that's just a part of the process. That's a part of courageously moving forward to learn and to grow and to just be curious about these new experiences and people and things about the business. Just be curious about it and have confidence and courage that if things happen, if they don't go the way you want them to go, that's okay. That's something that you learn from and you grow from. And that's so important. And I learned so many of those big lessons like really early on in my business. And it's really about just staying grounded in that why, staying grounded in your big vision of why you started this, so that you can keep moving forward through those quote unquote failures, those things that may have set you back, those no's, and just to take it with courage and take it with curiosity, just to be like, I want to learn more. I want to know more about myself and be able to share more with people. And the beauty of it is this is a journey. This is your learning journey. So you can use those elements to add value to your audience of people that you want to help. So I'm going to pass it to Amanda to talk to you about adding value.
Yeah, so there's so many different ways that we get to add value to our communities through engagement on social media, and it's one of my favorite parts of this business. But first and foremost, we have to know our role and embrace that role and love that role. And I always explain it to other people as we are the coolest middle people of all time. We get to take these amazing products and programs that work, and we get to match them with the people who we're working with and help those people take these tools and make them successful in their lives. How freaking neat is that? I could just go on and on about it for days, but I won't, because I have other important things to say. But importantly, we get to share these products through our own lives and through using them, whether it's a fitness program or the portion containers or the performance line, whatever it is, we do it first. So that's saying a lot about what we believe about what we're doing. And it allows us to generate genuine excitement about what it is that we're sharing. So we get to live out loud, own your stuff, let your freak flag fly, however that is. I say some really weird things sometimes, but it's authentic, and people are drawn to that. They want to know that you're a real person and you're not just out to make a sale, because I don't think anyone on this call is concerned about oh, I need to make a sale, I need to sell a product. We want to help people. And in order to help people, we need to connect with people. And so one of the things that I really struggled with when I got started, as I told Jamie many times, my life is really boring. I'm a full-time PhD student. So I'm literally up studying statistics, or doing my workouts, cooking, just kind of stuff. I'm it's really repetitive, but I was encouraged to just get creative, and make sure that I was adding value. So I'm not posting something for me, I'm posting it for my audience, for the people in my network who are looking for me to be a guide. And so that requires adopting a service mindset. So when I was in school, way back in high school, someone asked me what the difference was between charity and social justice. And charity is to make ourselves feel better. Social justice is to actually help others. So when we can adopt that service mindset, we can actually build trust, because we're adding value from a good place, from our own experiences, from our own research, and starting those important conversations that are going to get people hooked and wanting to learn more. And so Shelby will talk a little bit more about kind of keeping it real, keeping things authentic, and how you can build your brand over time.
All right. So you're building your brand by sharing your lessons, your struggles, the things that you do every single day, if they're repetitive or not. You're really starting to cultivate a landscape for yourself. And for me, when I first came to this business, I came from a past of depression. My father died from suicide. I was really struggling with a lot of these lessons that I had to learn about death and depression and anxiety and getting stuck in these negative thought processes. And so I used my social media as a place to spit out those lessons, but look at it from an objective perspective, and to use it as a tool to share with other people how they too can move through this, how I was moving through this. And I really came to my business from that perspective. And it was weird and raw and all over the place when I first started. But over time, as I practiced it, I honed in on what I really wanted my message to be, what my vision really was for other people. It was about sharing those lessons, and it just built up over time. It got prettier and the package was nicer, and I was able to do it much more easily because I was really working at it every single day, just like Amanda was saying in the beginning of this presentation. And it's something that you own, something that you share, and something that you raise every single day. Like, I don't have kids, but you have to be with them every single day. You have to raise them and cultivate them and nurture them. And that's really what you're doing by sharing every single day, sharing your vision, sharing your why, and just going at it courageously and curiously to figure things out and just build your brand over time and just be patient with it. So I'm going to hand it off to Amanda to talk to you a little bit more about patience, because it is the biggest virtue.
Yeah, so something that you'll hear us say a lot in this business is the idea that you want to be here in 1 year. So just like all good things, this business takes time. And there's a reason that we're not saying be here in an hour or be here tomorrow. Like, it doesn't work like that. So if you want to see success, you need to have a game plan. You need to adopt that growth mindset. Use your social media platforms to share stories and add value, and show people that it can be done and how they can do it. And then you want to build your brand. But these things don't happen overnight. They're done consistently over time. As you grow, all of these things will also grow, and they will become more honed and more dialed in, as you find your groove and build your wings and just shine and do all this awesome stuff that I know that we all can't wait to see you do. But even if you're just starting out and have never used a product before, so this was me. I was like a very competitive triathlete at the international level. I had to have surgery. I was on my couch. I kind of like absorbed into the couch for a while. And Jamie and I started talking, and I just signed up, and I'm like, yeah, this sounds great. Like, I did research, I believed in the products, but I wasn't actually able to start using any of the fitness programs for like 6 weeks after I started, but I was so excited about them. I was talking about them anyway. I wasn't lying about what I was doing, but I was saying how excited I was to get started, and that generated a lot of interest. And I was drinking Shakeology and talking a lot about that and how great it made me feel. So like, you can still share your journey from day one and be super excited about it, and people are going to be drawn to it. Like, I'm sure that everyone has heard the phrase, like, you should dress for the job you want, not the one you have. And that goes for this business too. Act like you're already at the level that you want to be. If you want to be a 2-star diamond coach, like, act like what you think a 2-star diamond coach acts like, because nobody else is going to know. So if you are being honest and truthful in your knowledge and what you're sharing, you can do that with the confidence and enthusiasm of anyone else who's on this call, who's been in it for 4+ years, is 6-star diamond, one of the top coaches in the company. There's nothing keeping you from doing that, and your self-doubts will kill your success more than anything else ever will. So we'll end with this idea. Remember that growth is not linear. It is a huge roller coaster. So you just have to buckle in and kind of approach it with that growth mindset. Be creative. Enjoy the ride. So no failure is fatal. Not success is final. We have to commit to keep showing up every day. And that is the biggest thing that is going to make a difference for you as you build this business. So I encourage you to take responsibility for your own success and have so much fun with this process from day one. But that's all we got for you. So I will pass it off to Nikki to start talking about vital behaviors, because it ties into everything.
Oh man, I miss being a new coach. You guys did awesome. I love the fire. It's so contagious. So thank you so much for sharing. Okay, I got the vital behaviors. Don't everybody sign off right now. I know you're like, I'm boring. But the vital behaviors are so important. And I think they're just those things that are so easy to do that they're also so easy not to do. And I love the analogy. And I always say this to my coaches. It's like, same thing with our workouts, right? You cannot expect consistent results if you are skipping your workouts, or if you're like, it's the same thing with brushing your teeth. You can't just like skip brushing your teeth all week and then brush for like an hour on Saturday. It does not work like that. So the same with your vital behaviors. You can't skip your vital behaviors all week and then all of a sudden say like, oh, it's Saturday, like I have all day. Let me do all of my vital behaviors in one day. It just doesn't work like that. So it's really important that you take the time every day, whatever that time is. If you only have an hour, if you have more, just fit it into the cracks of your life. When I was a new coach, I would get up super early and do some stuff before my kids woke up. And then I would do it at nap time. And then I would stay up late and do it. So you just have to find those times that you can fit it in. So I'm going to go through them all, even though I know you all know them. Invite, which I like to call connect. So I like to say connect, because I really think that we have to be connecting with people every single day, especially if you're using social media as your platform. It's really important that you're building those relationships. You cannot just come out of the gate with an invite. You have to really know, and you have to build that know, like, and trust factor. And you have to know if what we have to offer is what somebody needs. So we have this huge toolbox, and we want to make sure that we have the tools that that person needs. And we want to really make sure that we're connecting with them and getting to know them and making sure that that is something that they need. So really make sure, if you are doing your vital behaviors, that you are connecting and not just inviting. So it's kind of a two-part thing. Number 2, be proof the products work. This is so important. And as somebody who, like, I don't love working out, like, it's not like my favorite thing to do. But it's really, really important that you show that what we have works. So if you don't have a transformation, it doesn't have to be physical. Physical obviously is really going to be helpful, but if you have a mental transformation, like Shelby talked about how she came from a depression background. If you have a mental transformation and you've been able to overcome anxiety or depression, share that. If you have a monetary transformation, any little bit of income that you've made from this business, doesn't matter. Like, if it helped you fill your gas tank, if it helped you pay your water bill, share that, tell that. You have to be proof that this works in order for people to trust you and to want to join you. So if you are I find a lot of time that the vital behaviors correlate with people's success in the business, as far as, like, if they're in a funk. I'll ask my coaches, like, oh, are you on a workout program? Are you doing your workout every day? You're drinking your shake? Are you doing your personal development? And a lot of times, if they're in a funk, they're like, no, like, I kind of backtracked a little bit. So it's really important that to get back on track, you're jumping right back into those vital behaviors. So with the 80-day obsession coming out, that's like the perfect opportunity to really, like, put your stake in the ground and say, like, I'm going to have a really great transformation, because I promise you 100%, if you follow the 80-day obsession and you get some results, you're going to see success in your business. If you don't, like, you can come yell at me, because I know that you'll see success. My favorite one, personal development. I mean, honestly, oh wait, I'm not done, Jamie. Don't. Personal development. If you, like, this will change your life. So if anything, plug into your personal development. I remember as a new coach, I was like, what? I don't need that. And there's a reason why all of the top coaches that I was listening to their videos were saying personal development. It's so important. It helps you not only grow your business, but it helps you grow as a person. Like, I'm a completely different person than I was when I signed up to be a Beachbody coach in 2013, like, totally different. And when people are like, oh, you've changed, I'm like, yeah, good. I'm glad I changed, because personal development is everything. And I want to really encourage you that if you're reading something or listening to something that doesn't resonate with you, that you don't really like, put it down. There's so many options out there that you don't have time to waste on a book that you don't like, that you're not enjoying, that's not helping you. And also pick what's going to help your business, because sometimes everybody's reading, like, oh, everybody's reading You're a Badass. I got to read You're a Badass, which actually I love that book. It's one of my favorites. But if you don't like it, like, if you don't like cussing, then don't read it. Don't feel like you have to read it because everybody else is reading it. So just do your own thing and figure out what works. And before I jump into recognition, I put these little dots down there, or little, like, bullet points, because I think in addition to the vital behaviors, like, these things are really important too to be doing on a daily basis. So consistency on social media, like showing up every day on your social media platform of your choice, just to show people that you're still here and that you're still putting in the work. And that's really important to grow your brand. Doing follow-ups are so important. People will often come to you or, show interest, and then they'll just disappear. And if you're not following up with them, because, we forget, like, I don't know how many times somebody texts me and I read the text and I'm like, oh, I got to respond to that. And then I don't, like, I respond in my head. And so then I totally forget that they texted me. And if they didn't follow up with me or something, and it happens when I'm working with other people, and, like, essential oils or whatever other MLMs, and I forget that I was like interested in that product, and they follow up with me like, oh yeah, thank you for following up with me. I really forgot. So don't feel like you're annoying. You are just helping them. You're helping them. You're doing them. But
It sounds really like.
oh, I'm getting too excited. Sorry, I'm like getting really excited.
It's all staticky. So maybe
Unplug.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. And then trainings and business development, I think you need to set aside time to work on whatever it is in your business that you want to grow. So like, do you want to do email marketing, or do you want to like grow your Facebook page, or do you want to like learn Instagram? That's important too. So setting aside time to do business development. And then the fourth vital behavior, recognition, which we can go into the next slide, is I put just some ideas here because I think as a new coach, sometimes we think, well, I don't have a team to recognize yet, or I don't have a big team to recognize yet. And I don't think that matters. I think it's the little things. You can even recognize your challengers, and just getting that practice in. But these are just a list of kind of ideas where you can recognize people. People like to feel loved. They like to feel, special. And when you shout somebody out for something, like you liked their post on social media, or you saw that like maybe they fit into their jeans post baby, or they made their first sale, whatever it is, just shout them out and love on them. So we all know like the Success Club boards, the volume leaderboards, but these are other ones too. Like maybe you have a new coach that put out their first transformation photo. Like that's really scary when you first do that, when you first put out that picture of yourself on social media and you have to like post and then run away. Like shout them out for that you're so proud of them. Maybe they just created a list of their contacts using the memory jogger. What else? So maybe they helped a family member get started on a plan. Whatever it is, just make them feel special, especially if they are a new coach on your team, because we're all family now. They're like your family and you want them to feel special. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to pass it over to Stacy, and she is going to talk to you about my favorite thing, personal development.
Hey everybody, I'm Stacy Warzak, and I have been a coach. April will be 4 years. And like Nikki said, personal development is so important in our business. But it wasn't until about 2 years into my business that I thought I needed personal development, because I thought, who needs a self-help book? I don't. And with 3 small kids, a husband who worked a lot, I did not have time to read a book to help myself. I thought I had it all figured out. But little did I know, when I started reading personal development, I changed my life and my business. I realized that the vital behavior was and is very vital for me. It was the one thing that I thought I didn't need, but it was the missing piece. We are forever as coaches filling people up on a daily basis, and personal development is what fills our cup. And that's when our businesses will change for the better. As you know, every morning on Monday, Beachbody Corporate hosts a company-wide call called the National Wake Up Call. And it's a great way to start your week. It's something that I tell my team is a non-negotiable. And on Monday, my personal development is the National Wake Up Call. It gives us things that we need to know going forward, new products, recognizes people and fellow coaches for things that they have done in their business in the past week, and gives us goals and things to push for. So make sure, if you haven't been consistent with those, that you do tune in. They are all recorded, and you can find them on the Coach Online office if you ever miss it live. They are hosted also by new coaches and tenured coaches, so it's a lot of great information. The next thing coincides with personal development, of course, is Super Saturday. I make this non-negotiable for my team as well, simply because they're only 3 times a year. You are going to meet fellow and local coaches, and you're going to leave that event super pumped. The first one of 2018 is this Saturday, January 6th. So if you don't have your ticket, if you don't know where your Super Saturday is being hosted yet in your area, go on Facebook and search your city or the nearest city that's a big city near you, and I promise you there is one there. The Market Councils do an amazing job bringing special speakers in, corporate in, and it's a great time to learn as well as to have some fun too. If you're super new in the business, you may not know, but every year Beachbody hosts what we call Coach Summit. And this year it happens to be in Indianapolis, and it's from June 21st through the 23rd. As a new coach, if you get Success Club 5 or higher in the first 3 months of your business, you earn a free ticket to Coach Summit. And this is an event you don't want to miss. My first summit, I didn't think that I really needed to go. Again, with 3 small kids, I had to purchase the ticket. I also had to get airfare. And I just thought, you know, this is a big investment, but I can't tell you how much of an investment it gave back to me. It helped me push for super high goals and also helped me reach them in 2016. So it is totally worth it. And I hope that I'll see and meet you guys all there. It is another way that you're going to meet your team members. So you may not know Jamie or Nikki or any other coach on this call in person, but that's when you can actually meet them and feel like, you know, you're meeting this person that you've known for so long. All right, lastly, I wanted to give you a couple of my favorite reads real quick. Get Over Your Damn Self. I can't say the D word, my kids are close by, but Get Over Your Darn Self. And this really helps us get out of our own way. It's a great book that the author teaches direct sales and, you know, network marketing, how to build a lucrative business and lives that resemble freedom as well as fun. Another one is The Miracle Morning. And I recently finished this book, and I cannot tell you how amazing this book is. This is a book that I am going to be giving all my new coaches who sign up in 2018 because I loved it so much. It is something about that time management, and it just has us using our time so wisely, and especially in the morning, changing our mindset about dreading getting out of bed a little bit earlier. But the amount of work and things we can accomplish by doing that, the sky's the limit. And the last one, I hosted a book club, building a story brand. And this was a team book club that we did last month. And this book is something that really teaches us how to post on social media. Because there are so many multi-level marketing companies now and a lot of white noise, if you will, we have to stand out. We have to be different. And we want to show our personality as well as attract people like us, like our color wheel. And that book teaches us how to do exactly that. So I hope that you guys got some good tips on personal development. And if you're like me, how I used to be saying that I don't need that, I promise you, you do, and you will change your business if you do it. So Kim, it's all yours.
Yay. So I get to do the product of the product. And I feel like, to me, I've been a coach for 5 years now, and this is the vital behavior that I feel has helped me build an amazing business. It's helped me build a stable business, and it continues to help build my business right through to this 80-day obsession launch, being a test group member. And so I really stress this to my team to be a product of the product. It was what was stressed to me when I signed up. And honestly, had my coach given me a ton of information, I probably would have been like, So I really think that this one is very simple, and it's really can be anybody's strength. What I tell my coaches is to really take it seriously. Just like when people post oh, I'm getting my kitchen redone, or, oh, I'm building a new house. People get invested in that, and people love to see transformations. Well, guess what? You are going to get to be that transformation that they see playing out right in front of them in social media. And a lot of people watching this video, you're going to be able to be a part of a test group. And so take it seriously, get uncomfortable, realize that you are going to be the person that people are going to watch. Now, some people think being a product of the product means you need to be a size 2 or you need to be a certain look or a certain thing. You don't have to do that. Basically, a product of the product means that you are healthy, you are enjoying using the products, and you somehow are changing your lives in so many different ways by being a diligent person who is showing up and doing that. I tell my coaches to share their whole story. Your job is not to impress people. Like, I don't know if you've gone on to Instagram and you see like all these people that like flash their abs and whatever. And it's like, there's no story behind it. It's just like, yeah, you look great. Your job is to inspire them, not so much to impress them. I always feel like my job is so that some woman who's over 40 years old can look at me and say, you know what, I can do that too. I can do that too. Look at Kim. She's a hot mess and she's still, making it happen. Her body's not going to, going to crap and stuff. And so I feel like that's what I want to instill. I don't want to get people posting on my stuff, oh, I wish I could do that too, or, oh, you look great, I can't do that. I want people to be like, girl, all right, sign me up. Like, I want to do what you're doing. And share the whole story. One of the things that being a product of the product of, and I think Nikki touched on it, it's not just your physical outside, it's how you are. Like, if you're much happier, I know for me, I am way more happier. I live so much more in gratitude than who I was 5 years ago. And that comes across on my social media. And I hope that when people join me, that's part of what they want out of their life. They want to be happier. They want to be able to wake up, with immense gratitude. I tell people to pick a day to do your side-by-sides. One of the things, if you go to my own Instagram, I do a lot of before and afters. And when I was doing the 80-day obsession every Saturday, I would post my picture. And you know what? There were some times during the 80-day obsession where I really didn't see change, or maybe I thought I was like looking a little bigger. Guess what? I shared that because this was a journey and I wanted people to go on it with me to be like, hey, this is going to happen, and this is what happens. Remember, on your worst day when you are trying to be a product of the product, that it might be the best day to be vulnerable and share what's going on. In 2016, I underwent breast cancer treatment in radiation. And I wasn't like 6-pack abs. I wasn't, like killing my workout. I was doing burpees with one arm, doing core de force. Guess what? I was still being an amazing product of the product. So whatever is going on in your life, show what it looks like doing that part of the product. I have a coach on my team whose son has issues with heroin, and she shares that. She shares how working out has helped her. And so she's actually showing how using the products is getting her through that. And so sometimes I think coaches, get into a bad point in their lives, or things go on and they think that they have to retract and they can't be a product of the product. When, to me, being a product of the product means that you are showing how these products are making that, terrible time just that much easier. And to me, I think that you'll know that you're successful and you've done a great job when people just don't want to buy from you, but they want you to win. Like, they are invested in you. They've invested in the story that you have shown. A lot of you are going to go on this journey of 80-day obsession. It's a story. It's a story of your transformation, and you get to bring all those people along so that when you're done, they're going to be like, sign me up. And not only that, they are invested in you just as much as you are invested in their success. So I think Sarah is next, and Megan.
Yeah, thanks. That was great. And I completely agree with being a product of the product and how it can really help propel your business forward, especially at a time like this when there's a huge 80-day obsession launch happening. And I think that's the biggest thing that Megan and I wanted to portray through our slide is that you have to go all in and commit 100% to this program if it's something that you're going to be asking of others and your customers and your challengers. Megan was actually a test group participant too, so she may have a lot more, well, she does have a lot more insight on sharing with the product launch. But the first thing that we wanted to talk about was the attract. And with attraction, you should take a minute to look at your Facebook and Instagram profiles and give them a quick facelift. I know as new coaches, we love our kids, we love our dogs, we love our husbands, but the picture that you want to portray to people up front is you. You are your business, you're your brand, and so people need to see you when they come to your page. And so think about your profile picture, think about your cover photo. Does it portray that lifestyle that you want others to know that you have? What kind of fun things are you doing on the weekends? You know, what is something like we talked about earlier on this call that's not Beachbody, that's not fitness, that's not superfood shakes, right? So that color wheel. So make sure your pictures are showing through the color wheel that you've put out there for yourself. Some other things to think about are, you know, your 5 things that you are posting about on a consistent basis too. And then going all in with the product launch. Meg, you want to talk about that?
Sure. I like Sarah said, I think it's really important that if you want to attract serious challengers, you've got to be a serious participant. And it's going to be really attractive for your following to see you committing to this lifestyle. You know, you want to be able to, you want to like kind of have a perspective of your page, like an outside perspective, like be objective and look at your feed and see what kind of value you're providing. And the kind of things that inspire people are people getting after it, like getting after their life, like getting after personal growth and a physical transformation, especially right now. So you want to make sure that that's what they're seeing. Obviously, as Jatana's going to talk about social media later, you want it to have variety. You want it to not just be about fitness. And like Sarah said, you don't want it to be like Beachbody. And we mentioned, you see curiosity marketing on here. You can get Beachbody programs off Amazon if you wanted to, and you want to be careful to not sell Beachbody. You want to make sure that you're attracting people to you and your journey. So whatever you're enduring, like Kim was saying, she went through, cancer. She was going through treatments. She was going through a certain struggle. And so she was attracting the kind of people who were where she's at in life, in their 40s, maybe, battling things like this. And maybe you have a weight loss journey. Maybe you don't have much of a weight loss. You want to talk about how this program is transforming your life, because it's going to look so different on all of us. So it's not just about 80-day obsession, it's about what it's doing in your life. And so that's what you want to attract with. Think about when you're doing your audit, like, are you, giving positivity? Do you have, like, is there any kind of negative post that you've maybe posted in the past? It's a really smart thing to do. I think as Beachbody coaches, we're really used to going through our feed, but I think a lot of people aren't. I know every day almost that I want to see what someone sees when they come to my page, and I want to make sure that it's not, they're not seeing something that doesn't make sense to them or doesn't seem to be aligned with, what I'm saying I'm offering. One of the things I did as a new coach was I would go look at other coaches' feeds who I really connected with or related to. And I would see, why do I like this? Like, why am I attracted to her? What is it about this that I'm attracted to? And I would try to I'd be inspired by, maybe it was their use of alternating photos with text. I don't know. Maybe it was the way they took photos, the angles. So that was how I learned what attracted me, because the kind of people you're trying to attract will be attracted to the same thing. I would say be careful to not post stock photos as best you can using the curiosity marketing. I say my 80-day transformation group, which is just so lame and not even that creative, but like Sarah will say her 80-day abs and booty program or whatever. Make people curious. A little obsessed doesn't sound as intriguing as this 5-day preview of this whatever transformation. So think about the fact that people didn't even know what challenge groups are. Maybe don't use Beachbody lingo that only other coaches will get. Think about how you're attracting that outsider. I think we can move on to the connect. I will say this, as a new coach for me, this was the one that scared me the most. Invite. So I love that we have attract, connect, invite up here. I didn't even know that this was a vital behavior. I didn't know about vital behaviors when I started coaching. I didn't have a team that I came into that had trainings or anything. My coach wasn't working. So I didn't know how to do any of this. But what I did, which ended up being this, was all I knew is I was so afraid of inviting. That was the most terrifying idea. And so the way that I approached it was, I want to do everything I possibly can that by the time I am inviting, it's so natural. And whereas we say invite, and it's just terrifying for someone to go in for an invite. So think about everything that you can do to set up the stage for it to be a very natural question when you're in conversation with somebody. And that has everything to do with what you're doing to attract and connect. So you want to connect, or did you think anything else that you wanted to say about attract, Sarah?
No, you nailed it with attract. I think with all of these, though, consistency is probably the biggest thing. Showing up daily and posting daily and getting into a groove with that. Even as a newer coach, posting scared me. While inviting scared Meg, posting really scared me. And so if you're like, I only post once a day, that's fine. And then challenge yourself the next week to add in another post of those things that, make you you and tell your story. And don't look at it like you're being pushy, you're sharing, and you're being passionate. That's what I try to tell my newer coaches. With connecting, the hottest market that you can tap into as a newer coach is your family and your friends. It's just being bold enough and brave enough to do that without getting scared and intimidated and feeling like they're going to judge you or it's going to embarrass you or whatever. That's where we feel like Meg and I, and a lot of her newer coaches, especially with this launch, have had the most success connecting and bringing people into the challenge groups and even onto the team because they're so excited and they share that excitement. They have results from prepping for this program because I know a lot of us have been doing that. And then they have a crowd of people that are now excited to run with. And that just, like Nikki said, these newer coaches that are so excited, it just spreads like fire. And think of the domino effect from that. Meg, you can tell that example if you want to share that about the new coach that.
Yeah, I think we get really afraid to talk to our friends and family about what we're doing. But I have many new coaches who went all in with this launch. And the ones who had a lot of success were those who reached out to their closest friends and family. They're newer, they hadn't had tons of traction yet or anything like that, but they've been working on themselves and their fitness journey. And I mean, guys, I've been so surprised at the people that are interested in this program that I never would have thought. And it was all I had to do was just ask or put it out there. And I thought, oh, wow, this is something that you would be interested into. And so some of my coaches new coaches, brand new coaches, crushed it by just reaching out to the people in their lives that they're already closest to and that those relationships are very warm. They see what they've been doing. They see that they've been changing their lives. And so reaching out and just saying, hey, I'm doing this. You do this with me. I'm getting this thing started. And I would love to have someone to kind of go along with me. And I'd like to kind of test out my coaching skills. And you kind of be a guinea pig. So don't be afraid to reach out to those who are in your closest circle right now. But then obviously it's really important that you keep your market warm and you're adding to it. You're growing your network on a daily basis. I think this is one of the things that a lot of coaches blow through their warm market in the beginning without being really intentional about creating that funnel system. And they tap out their this little circle and then they're like, there's no one else to ask. There's no one else to talk to. So this is when you need to start thinking about keeping that funnel full and where do you start?
And and if you're doing the product of the product, like Kim said, if you're sharing it and not selling it on your social media, then you're going to have people to connect with because they're going to be engaging with your stuff, especially if you're increasing when you're posting and getting to know your niche of when they're online. Then now you turn that funnel system into connecting with those people that are engaging. If they're liking your stuff, you're going to send them a message and say, thanks for cheering me on. It's hard to put yourself out there when you're sharing these results, and I'm really proud of myself, so thanks for cheering me on. Or thanks for liking my post. Maybe you're interested in joining the group. Maybe you were just giving me some love. Whatever it was, thank you. You started a conversation, and it's not that hard. Like, we don't want you to think that we get scared to send these messages just like you might, but it is so simple to just say thanks, or hey girl, how's it going? So we encourage you to start 3 conversations a day and then track it. That's always been my goal, plus more if you're filling up for it. And then just keep it casual and very genuine and real. It doesn't have to be anything special at all.
Yeah, I'll just chime in a little bit. I think we get a little bit scared we ask for scripts for these kind of things. Really, don't overthink connecting with people. How would you in real life? How would you if you saw someone you hadn't seen in a while? Oh my gosh, how have you been? Like, really keep it that casual and simple. You'll look salesy when you put out a script. So, really just think about the person you are and the way that you would talk to somebody or catch up with somebody. And when she says track, write down the names or write down when you talk to them so that you have consistent follow-up, so that because you'll forget, you'll think, oh, I don't have that many people. You do. You need to track, and you need to remember when you have last reached out to them, so that you can kind of keep these seeds, this breadcrumbing of this relationship building, so that so you're not like spreading your seeds all everywhere, but not nurturing the right ones. So
yeah, keep adding to that list that we had you guys make as a pre homework. And so last but not least is then inviting, right? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. And this one is a hard one for a lot of new coaches. It was for me too. But like Meg said, keeping it simple, talking like it's your best friend. I write how I talk. So this is a sample message that I sent the other day, and it is a hey girl with smiley faces, and I say y'all. And so don't be afraid to do that. Be you when you are inviting these people, whether it's to coaching, whether it's to your challenge group, whether it's to a free group. You can invite to all these things, and consistent attracting, which is what we talked about first, and connecting makes for very easy inviting, because it's people that are already kind of into what you're doing. They've seen you do it for a while. You've been consistent with it, so they almost expect it, if you will. So once you've made that list of 10 people, so write down 10 names that you can think of right now that have been following you, maybe the people that stand out that have liked your stuff, that you've been afraid to invite. Maybe it's just 10 people that come to mind that you want to help, whether they're coach prospects or challengers or customer prospects. Make that list, and we're going to challenge you to invite them to something, whether it's the challenge group, the 80-day session, just to learn more, just to send a hey girl message. It doesn't even have to be an invite. You could send them a hey girl message, but some kind of way to connect with them. The other way to do that is through Jab Jab Hook. It's a book that, I don't know if Stacy mentioned it or not, but it's a really good book for leaving breadcrumbs, like Meg said, like leaving those seeds and then hooking people in. So you're going to leave little, thoughts or posts or ideas about what this is, what the journey is all about, and then you're going to invite, call to action post, and say, I'm looking for people that want to run with me, join me. I need accountability too, what have you. And this is a really good example post of Sarah Preston here on the screen. She did a really good job of using the screen in the background with Autumn to invite to her 80-day session challenge group. And it got a lot of great response. And she even plugged coaching in there too. So you can get creative with these things and just be you, be the goofy you. Like, she was just being silly Sarah and having fun with it too. So anything else, Meg, on inviting?
Yeah, not really. I think this is a unique situation that we have this coach test group right now that we can kind of bring coach conversation with the challenger. And so I say go for it. I say, especially for new coaches, this is a great opportunity to get people in a little more casually. I have several new coaches within the past couple of months. They've only joined in the past couple of months who have added to their team this way. They put out a post like this, they're sharing this awesome test group opportunity. Don't be afraid to share what a really awesome chance for people to be a part of Autumn's group. So this is a great way to get that coach invite in, I think, a little more comfortably as a new coach. So nothing else from me. I think we have April. April's going to talk to us about talk to discount coaches.
Actually, we're going to pause for a second and take a brain break. So Sarah and Megan, that was awesome. And we just covered the vital behaviors, you guys. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a minute because we're going to take a few minutes. This isn't a potty break. This is a let's go wring out the sponge. So if you've got a sponge and you have a spill at home and you start mopping stuff up, eventually that sponge stops soaking up water, right? Because it's oversaturated. If you were to do the vital behaviors every day and only the vital behaviors, you would be successful in this business. But what I'm seeing in a lot of these comments is fear, is fear around, but this isn't going to work for me. I'm too old. Nobody's responding. Nobody's supporting me. I don't know what to say. I don't want to be salesy. You guys, that's fear. That's mindset. Okay. So these are tools, but it takes you and wringing out the sponge. You have to wring out the sponge and go take action. This training is about taking action. So we just covered the 4 vital behaviors, which are, if you heard nothing else, but you just started focusing on mastering these 4 things every day, you would find a path to success in this business. Your homework assignment, whether or not you saw it or beforehand or not, was to make a list of 20 names, right? I know a lot of people did that in the event pages. But I want you to take a few minutes to implement a vital behavior. So I'm going to read some questions I've got for you guys. And with the mindset thing, I will add, like, if you don't want to be the annoying, spammy, salesy MLM person, then you know exactly what that person was doing and posting like and talking like. Just don't do that. You know, you also have a lot of great leaders and examples if you're following other coaches in this business that are more authentic and genuine and talking about themselves. Duplicate that. That's your choice. You can kind of stay stuck in that, or you can go and find a way that does feel good for you. And you can also decide to start a conversation. I love how Sarah and Megan said, like, if you were to run into someone at the grocery store, how would you talk to them? You know, or if someone was to, you know, send you a text out of the blue, what would you reconnect? You can start there and have an authentic, genuine conversation, even a compliment, a question, or a point of connection. So I would love you to, let's start with personal development, and you can use the comments, or you can write it on a piece of paper and then share a picture of that piece of paper later. For personal development, find a Super Saturday. You can go to FAQ 9792. Okay, so you go to the FAQs in the coach office, 9792. There's a hyperlink that takes you to a map, a geographical map of all the Super Saturdays in the world now. We can say world because now we're in the UK as well. But find a Super Saturday near you, okay, and post the link below to tag the city. If you're going to order one of those books Stacy mentioned, or Sarah and Megan mentioned, Gary Vaynerchuk, I know was someone asked who wrote Jab, 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 Right Hook. That's Gary Vaynerchuk. There are so many. Nikki mentioned You Are a Badass, which is written by, why am I losing? It'll come to me. I can't think of her name right now. But anyway, pick a book. What is your book that you're going to read? Okay, or are you going, Jensen Sarah? That's right, April. And or what podcast are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to Catch Up on National Yoga Clubs? Commit your personal development that you're going to do for January right now. Okay, so Super Saturday, personal development. Okay, now, so I'm going to take 30 seconds there. I was an educator, a school counselor before I was a coach, so I call it the awkward teacher pause. Awesome. Okay. Yep. Keep adding these to the comments or write them on a piece of paper and share it. So recognition. Nikki gave us so many examples of recognition. Who comes to mind? Who is maybe it's someone you follow on Facebook. Maybe it's a customer or client of yours, your upline, a coach in your team page that you admire. Maybe someone in the champions page that stood out to you. Anyone. Who is someone that you can recognize for and give them a shout out to. I want you just to write their name down on a piece of paper and then make that your intention to go Give them a virtual high five, whether it's a post or just a message, or just tag them in the comments below. Shout someone out. Give them because I promise, when you recognize someone else, you're filling your own bucket. You're filling your own soul tank. It's gonna make you feel really good too, to know how it feels to kind of lift people up. Okay, so those are 2 of the vital behaviors. So write down those names. Who are you gonna do? Pick 2 people. 2 people you can shout out. Maybe it's someone that was on your list of 20 names that you wrote down them because they're awesome and you just think they're rad. Maybe you haven't talked to them in 20 years. You can still go say, you know, you're on my mind because I just remembered and was thinking about how awesome you are because of, I remember this time. All right, the next one was product of the product, or be proof the products work. Write down in the comments or on your piece of paper, what products are you going to use this month? Are you doing 80-day obsession? Did you go all in with the mega pack and get Shakeology and BOD and the bands and sliders and the performance line? Are you doing the ultimate reset? 3D refresh? You gonna do try 21-day fix and start there? What products are you using this month that you are gonna commit to creating a testimony, first-hand experience? Hey, do you need to update your Facebook picture? Is your profile picture of your dog or a tree or 15 people all smushed into one thing? Remember, people are going to see a profile picture that big. So it should be your beautiful face. Okay, so maybe right now you go change your profile picture really fast or put that on your list of to-dos. And then for the attract, connect, and invite. Okay, so you've got your list of 20 names. Maybe you don't have that list. Who are 3 people you can go and say hi to? Maybe you comment on a picture you post on their wall, or you send them a message that just says either one of those examples that Sarah Megan gave of, hey, I was thinking about you, about this group I'm so excited for. Or maybe you're not quite there and you just want to say, I just wanted to say hi, how are you? Anyone going to be offended if someone writes you and says, how are you? I would never be offended if someone wrote me and said, hi, how are you, Jamie? So, and if you're feeling like they will, that's fear. That's you. Okay. Don't project that onto someone else. Are you glad that you're here? Are you glad that someone invited you? Are you glad that you said yes? Are you glad to be part of Beachbody? If you are, then lead with that energy and assume the best in people, that they'll be glad that they were invited too. Okay. So what's your action plan of what you're going to do with those vital behaviors in the next month, even in just the next few days? So take 1 more minute to get those thoughts out. Write down those names of those 3 people you're going to write, or just circle them on your list of 20 names. If you've gotten it written down, just circle those 3 who you're going to connect with tonight. Send the message. Look at all you guys committed to 80-day obsession. This is going to be a great group. Okay, so we're going to move on, and April's going to talk about discount coaches. So what we're going to do is offer a few minutes. So if you are a discount coach, if you have a discount coaches on your team that you want to share this with later, if you're in that transitional place, we're going to give some tips on how discount coaches are often some of the biggest rock stars. So April, you want to take it away?
Yep. Hi, guys. So I am so excited to talk to you about discount coaches because my sister and my best friend and one of my diamond coaches strictly started as a discount coach. So I love to tell her story because you can see her transformation. She's lost 111 pounds, then gained with her recent pregnancy, and she has a, oh gosh, I'm a bad aunt, 2-week-old baby girl. And so it's just been really, really fun seeing her transform as a discount coach, now one of my top leaders. And also it's really brought us together so much. We go on free trips that we earn multiple times a year. You know, she really has become my best friend because of this business, because we both worked on personal development. We used to be at each other's necks all the time. And because we've both been working on ourselves internally, we, can be at family functions without, snipping at each other and all of that. And so it's really nice also to just kind of see the positivity that streams through us because of this business and because of all the vital behaviors that we've already went over. So first and foremost, that's my biggest thing is do not discount a discount coach. If that is you and you're thinking of becoming a discount coach, don't ever say I'm just a discount coach, because you matter just as much as anybody else. And it doesn't matter what your goals are, as long as you know that all you have to do is say, you go girl, or boy, for, to be able to be a coach, because you don't have to be, Miss Fitness and Nutrition Guru. You don't have to have a 6-pack. You don't have to never eat carbs and, run 5 miles and live on, rabbit food. So I want you to know that we are all very real. And, so Melissa actually became a coach and got my mom and her mother-in-law to go in together to buy a challenge pack shortly after she had her first daughter, because she was miserable. You can see her on the left there. She literally wouldn't even look at the camera. I made her take that picture, and she seriously wanted to punch me. I remember she was like, I hate you. I cried taking those photos. And while I felt like, I felt horrible, putting her through that, I knew that she would be so thankful to have those. And she actually was a Beachbody Challenge winner, and she won $1,000 from Beachbody for submitting her results. And then she also was a finalist, one of the pre-finalists for the Beachbody Challenge, where they actually give away $100,000 to people just for getting healthy. So really, really cool stuff. And, it's changed her life. She's one of the most positive people I know. She broke her neck and, went through all of this despite all of that was right in the middle of her journey. And she just continues to inspire people daily. And it's all because of coaching. And if she was in that place and then broke her neck, who knows what would have happened, with the depression. And she's overcome, she's been sober she overcame alcoholism, depression, she's just such a light. And so this is what could happen to you when you don't even know that you need this, is why I really love sharing her story. So I'm really big in saying, turn your mess into a message. You don't have to be perfect, like we've said, and take your, whatever it is that your story, everybody has a story. You can think of something. If you think of something, one of the hardest things you've ever had to go through, just stop and think about it. Okay. How can you use that and turn that message into something to let other people know that they're not alone? And, when you were going through that, wouldn't it be so helpful if you had support to know that you were not alone? And that's really all we're doing, is we're just saying, you don't have to be the biggest salesperson. We don't want you to do that. We just want you to connect with other people and encourage them. So the community aspect is amazing. This was my coaches at a diamond retreat. We go on, we can earn trips. We can, do team events. It's just that community that I know, a lot of people start as a discount coach for the discount of the products. Awesome. You get 25% off everything, which is totally cool. But then you can also earn 25% commission if here and there you're just talking to your friends about it. And so the community is what I really love for people to lead with. So on the next slide, I kind of go into how you can go through and actually, dabble into coaching without even really realizing it. So first one is just post about what's working for you. Sarah and Megan went over about how to post, so you can use those guidelines as well, but just talk about how your workouts or your meal plans are working for you. With 80-day obsession, you're going to be like, literally, they tell me exactly what to eat and how much to eat and when to eat it. And so, just talking about it, like they said, talk like you're talking to your best friend. What changes have you noticed? And I don't want you to focus on the scale, because a lot of people get really frustrated because they're not seeing the scale move. So focus on things like non-scale victories. Were you able to do more push-ups? Are your clothes fitting better? Are you seeing muscle definition? Or are you feeling muscle definition in places you never had? Are people noticing? So non-scale victories, for me, when I started with Shakeology, I noticed a huge difference with my skin and my hair. I have rosacea, and I actually just got back from St. Louis, so the time travel and the weather change, my face is rough right now, but I've noticed such a difference with my, rosacea, with, my hair grows like crazy, all of this stuff from Shakeology and good nutrition. And I want to share that with people. Why would you be stingy and not share that with people, Let's see. And don't try to sell, just share, like we said. And then if your bestie found something to help her lose weight, wouldn't you want her to tell you? Why wouldn't you be kind of salty if she was losing all this weight and you're like, girl, what have you been doing for the last 6 months? Oh, just working out from home. Like, what? No, share that. Let people know, let people in on it. So don't, and that's really all it is. It's just you talking to people. Like, Megan and Sarah said earlier, you can start off with talking to that warm market where you feel comfortable. And then once you dabble there, maybe you're like, who else could I help? Because it's really all about who can you help? So sharing that love and the community support. And then number 3, my third tip is start with your daily personal development. We've talked about this, but just focus on working on you mentally, emotionally, physically. I mean, honestly, Beachbody coaching this year, I struggled so much with postpartum depression, anxiety. I just literally felt crippled with it. And I was able to talk about it and open up on Facebook about it. And the support I received because of it was overwhelming, because if I wasn't a coach, why would I think that I needed to go on Facebook and post about how bad my anxiety was that day? I probably wouldn't have, but I knew that turning my mess into a message would let other people know that they weren't alone. So focusing on working on you, whatever way it is that you really feel like you need to be focusing on. Be the best challenger that you can be. So get in there, and your coach will have a challenge group, whether it's on Facebook or on the Challenge Tracker app, and just be the best challenger that you can be. I want you logging workouts. I want you logging your Shakeology. I want you talking about how proud of yourself you are. I want you supporting other people, because when you are present, it's going to remind you, hey, I just checked in my challenge group. I do not want to post that pizza that I ate. I do not want to post those cookies that I ate. And so when you're very open with your challengers, it makes you more cognizant of what you're putting in your mouth and, the workouts that you're doing. It makes me feel more accountable when I'm being a great challenger. We talked about the national wake-up calls every Monday. YouTube, I would follow top coaches when I was, learning more about coaching, the opportunity, and what it really consisted of. So YouTube and our podcast, there's just seriously infinite amount of possibilities. But, I also just want to point out, here's my transformation. So my daughter turned a year in November. So I gained, I think, 45 pounds with her. I was able to lose 30 pounds with Beachbody. Prior to her, I was in the best shape of my life, then had to start all over again. But the fact is I knew where to go, and I knew how to do it. And I knew that with coaching, I could encourage other people along with working on myself. And that's just ultimately my favorite part about it. So that's all I got. And then next we have Jamie. So thank you. Take it away.
Thanks, April. So your new homework assignment, y'all, is another thing tomorrow is post a non-skill victory, an NSV to your audience. And I have a really super sexy topic. I hope you're excited. Organization and time management. So I'll be the first to say I'm not the most organized. I don't manage my time well. However, I have earned the badge to get to speak on this, because when I started coaching, I had 3 jobs. I was a full-time school counselor. I waited tables nights and weekends, and I taught kids yoga. So my weeks were 80 to 90-hour work weeks. I didn't have a lot of time. So going back to the beginning where I talked about working on those pockets of time, I had very few of them, and I just did as much as I could in the time that I did have. I prioritized this business over social life and television. But more than anything, I had to learn how to get organized. If you are on my team, you'll know the O word, overwhelm, is off limits. It's like a 4-letter word, even though it's more than 4 letters, because it's a mindset. It's a victim mindset, saying that is you're paralyzing yourself into helplessness, versus taking all of these tools that you have, like Beachbody Champions page, Google, your coach office, YouTube. You've got an overwhelming, if you have a team page, and there are files in there, all of these things are here to help you be successful. And you can be paralyzed by it because it's a lot. What just happened? Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't know what that was. But you can be paralyzed by it, or you can be grateful for it and use it to help yourself get started. So some tips on how to stave off the overwhelm, and legit, take that out of your vocabulary. But put your blinders up and stay in your lane. It's when we say go check out top coaches, it's also important to not try to put yourself 4 years in advance from where you are. Like, the people that you see ahead of you they've put in the sweat equity. They've put in the time in this business. So be new, put up your blinders and focus on managing what you can. Be here in 1 year by setting a pace you can sustain. If you can't go 100 miles an hour for a year, then don't even try, right? It's better, if you jackrabbited your car and like went to fifth gear and then first and then fifth and then you're going to kill your engine. That's the same thing with your body and your life. The worst thing you can do is like burn out and go MIA in your business, because every time you come back, you're going to be starting all over again with trust, with momentum, with even your joy with it. So find a pace you can sustain so that every day you can show up. And in a year from now, you'll be able to look back and be like, you know what, I did what I could every day. A lot of people say like set business hours. And honestly, you guys, I find that really hard. This is a very fluid business. I wouldn't necessarily tell you to set business hours, but I would really encourage you strongly to set non-business hours. Decide when those non-negotiable, non-working times are. When maybe it's when your kids get home from school, from 3 to 8 when they go to bed, and that's when you absolutely aren't working your phones away. And then the rest of the time you're just reactive and maybe more intentional and productive. But carve out that time that's going to keep you plugged into the things that you valued before Beachbody, your family and your health, right? And then be really disciplined about being true to those non-working hours. Take your business time though that you do have seriously. Get off your phone, sit in front of your computer, and work from a list. Like, be intentional with that time. Maybe I only have 30 minutes a day in the beginning, some days, right? And then on the weekends, I had maybe 3 to 4 hours before I went and waited tables. And so I would take the time I had, but I was really focused during the time I did have. And over time, the amount of that window got bigger. But I got off my phone. I set up a desk. I gave myself a little home office workspace. I took myself away from distractions in my house, away from the kitchen, away from television. And I treated my business like it was already this big, important, special thing. I got organized. And then I was intentional with my time. I turned off my news feed on Facebook, which is, if you use Google Chrome, it's just, you can Google search your newsfeed eradicator or turn off Facebook newsfeed, and you can actually close that out so that you aren't distracted and wasting your 30 minutes of work time, and you spend it just scrolling your Facebook newsfeed. Well, there you go. You've done nothing to help move your business forward. And then do the hard stuff first. If you know those invites or those follow-ups are going to be that thing that like you're dreading, get it out of the way first. Okay. If that doesn't work for you, what works for me is I've got a lot of stuff I love, and my inbox is one of those things I don't necessarily love. So I smush it in the middle. I like make a sandwich out of it. I do something fun that I like first. I do my invites, and then I reward myself with like, I really like graphics and doing posts. So I'll sandwich it in the middle. But make sure you don't leave it till the end, because if you run out of time, guess what's not going to happen? The hard stuff. And guaranteed, the hard stuff is probably the stuff you need to do. The stuff you're avoiding is the stuff that's going to be most important and meaningful into your business. Okay. And with that mindset, treat your business like a business through these things if you want it to start earning and acting like a business. So some ways to manage your time. Use a tracker. We've referenced trackers a few times. The BAT is a business activity tracker. It's something that Beachbody gave us. You can Google Beachbody Business Activity Tracker. You'll get a PDF for it. TeamZ is an online platform, a virtual tracking system. You get a free month, and then I think it's like $20 a month after that. But it's designed to feed for Beachbody coaches using your Facebook, and it feeds you contacts, and it feeds you a to-do list every day. So TeamZ is a great tool to be intentional with your time. There are other trackers called the Power of Threes. It breaks down activity in chunks of 3. Win the week. So if you're more like me, I do stuff in like bigger pockets. I won't invite every day necessarily. I'll invite a few times a week, but I'll do larger numbers. You find what works for you, but when you sit down to work, make sure you are intentional and focused. And then Moira Kusaba gave us these great trackers called the Walk, Jog, Run tracker that I'm going to spend a little bit more time looking at. And I'm not going to go too much into detail, because really you can screenshot this, and ultimately as a new coach, you need to be self-led and directed and kind of find this stuff on your own. But I did put all of this in a Google folder, and you can look at all these trackers that I referenced here If you go to bit.ly.com/coach trackers, you can download them and look at them from there. But what I like about this walk, jog, run tracker is that you can decide your pace, right? So maybe I'm at a run, okay? And you want to be able to run someday, but you have to be realistic with the fact that you're at a walker pace or a jogger pace. You have to be honest with what you can sustain over time, and then put up those blinders and be proud of it. So this is an example of a jogger tracker, okay? And it talks about, this is a daily to-do list here. Do your daily behaviors. This is a daily action item. This is what happens at the end of the month for a jogger. You're getting Success Club 5 to 10. You're recruiting 3 to 5 coaches a month. A mindset, you understand. And then this is your game plan. You're setting some to-dos. An extension of that is that you are also creating your own things that you're going to track. And this is a really important thing. And this is how I want you to really own that you have to stay in a healthy mindset, because it doesn't matter if April and Megan are like rank advancing and they've got Success Club 75, 100, and I'm like just fighting for Success Club 5. If I'm comparing myself to them, maybe they're on a different path than me. They're a different pace than me. But if all I'm focusing on is what April and Megan are doing, then it takes the joy out of this for myself, and I just feel like a failure. However, I can also put up those blinders and I can say, you know what, Success Club 5 or 10 is my goal. So when I hit Success Club 5, I'm going to be proud because I wrote it here under this behavior action that I'm tracking. You can also use this, you guys, to maybe posting once a day is the behavior that you're tracking. Okay, maybe turning off the phone and having dinner at the table with your family 3 times a week or every day or whatever you want it to be is a behavior that you're tracking. Okay, maybe going to yoga once a week is a behavior that you're tracking. Things that you know are going to help you feel successful. You're the CEO of your business. You're the only one that can decide what success looks like to you. Of course, Beachbody is going to give benchmarks and carrots out there that you can earn, and many of them are very important. But you also have to own your own success and what feels good to you. And every week, I encourage you to take this tracker and and decide what is going to be a winning week for you. And then at the end of the week, assess and see how you did. Okay. But blinders up and don't compare. Again, that's where you can find these in hard form. This is a little bit of what that folder looks like. Now, I wouldn't say try to master all of these. Heck no. Pick one, stick with it for a month, but look through them and see what you think is going to fit your personality best. You might be a paper pencil person. That's okay too. You find what's going to work best for you that you can consistently do. Fair enough? Okay, really quick. If you're wondering, maybe I saw a couple comments like, I don't have an active upline, or I don't have anyone to teach me. That's okay. You don't need one. You are here as a CEO. You go figure this out for yourself because it's all spelled out for you if you plug into it. So if you go to the coach office, okay, you're going to have a handheld coach training. That's awesome. It's brand new. Kim Carver put it together. It's called the First 30. This is how you find it. You go to your coach office, okay? Go to training. You might see it look like that. Okay. Also on the Beachbody Champions page, all the videos that go into this, all the top coaches of the company are training people on topics. It's all saved in the Champions Beachbody page. Okay. You can go watch that. You can Google and YouTube the heck out of any question. And you can FAQ. You also have an upline star diamond leader. Okay, you'll find that in your back office. Figure out who that is. And if you don't have a first degree of an active leader, go reach out to them or post and, be an engaged watcher and listener in these live videos and promise the leaders will respond to you. Okay, but be a leader and not a leaner. And, or don't be, I heard one once, don't be an asshole. Like go find the answers that you need by searching for them and being self-directed. Okay, this is what that first 30 looks like. So I just wanted you to have a visual, if you're a visual person like me, so that later when you're like, what was that thing she was talking about? You got this right here. Okay, we will put all of these slides in a PDF form in the Beachbody Champions page. So you can look at these later, okay? But you can also just screenshot it. Also, be ready for those future tribe. Be ready for those new customers and those new coaches. Go and set up, if you go to teambeachbody.com, sign in, click coach. Okay, this is where you find that coach office we were just at, or if you want to do the share cart. This is how you set up those new coaches and customers with the new link. go practice it. Use a fake email, use one of your other emails. You can delete it later so it doesn't sit there, but you can go pretend like you've got someone ordering so that you can know how to set it up so that when act as if you already have all these customers and coaches waiting to enroll so that you can be streamlined, ready to go, and you feel confident in that. And then just remember to have fun. This should be fun, right? Just have fun. If it's not fun, stop, assess, and figure out what you can do every day to put in joy and fun in your business. Jatana's going to talk about a game plan for social media for 80-Day Obsession, and I'm going to pass that over to her.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, you guys are just got loaded down with some incredible information. And now we're about to tie a beautiful bow around this and give you something to take action on. So they gave you a ton of tips with social media, how to share your story, how to figure out what your story is, right? And now we want to give you kind of a marketing plan around the next couple days. So I know with my team, we do stuff like this before a launch or before a challenge group even. We post with intention. And I'm talking about posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram, and doing Insta stories focused around, or if you're a Snapchat person, I'm an Insta story chick, posting around these concepts. So I'm going to kind of break this down for you and give you some examples. And I'm also going to post some examples in the thread so that you guys can look at it, especially newer coaches can look at it and be like, oh, that's what she's talking about. So for example, tomorrow is Thursday, the 4th, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. And talking about working out for convenience. This is something that needs to be relatable to you. I don't want you to make it a cookie cutter post. You're like, Beachbody on Demand is so convenient. Make it tailored to your story. Are you a nurse? Do you go teach a class or teach at a school and you have to get up super early? How does Beachbody on Demand work for you? Do you have to commute? Is this mobile? Do you travel a lot? What are the things that make this relatable to you and how it makes it convenient for you? And I think people will relate to that better when they can hear your story and they can identify themselves in your story. Example for Friday, accountability. And when I say post about this, I said earlier, post it on your Facebook wall and post it on your Instagram wall, but make it like a hard, intentional post that you're really sharing a full rounded story of how this one particular topic is important to you. So accountability. What could you do for accountability? I know for my team, we do Zoom workouts. And every single morning, my stupid alarm clock goes off at 5:45 a.m. and I have major #FOMO when I know that all my girls are going down to their little gym space and they're logging on to these Zoom workouts. And if I don't get up, I'm going to miss the workout with them. And so that is something that I can talk about on Friday, where I want to be a part of these group of ladies who inspire me, who keep me from pressing pause because they're still going. So the accountability piece, what does that look like for you? How does coaching hold you accountable to your journey? Another one, energize. This is my favorite on Insta stories. If you guys don't, go check out my Insta stories. I post like crazy on energize. I love, love, love it. I'll use a program called Hype Type. So I'll talk about my energize, and it's always 5:30 in the morning, and I'm super tired. I usually have my robe on or something ridiculous, and I'm making my energize. And then the next story after that is me bouncing around to like Run DMC or something with my energize kicking in. And so my audience can see, and I call it mom crack, which is funny because people will message me back like, what's the mom crack? I don't call it energize. And I'm like, man, they really want to know about mom crack. It's a little weird, but that's a way to be fun, be you, be original, right? And share our products without spamming, Beachbody product logos. And same with Shakeology. That's another one that you can talk about. I call it my sexy mama shake. Like I said, I don't ever say product names. I am all about what is it for me. For me, it makes me feel sexy. It makes my hair grow. It makes my nails grow. It makes my skin beautiful. I feel beautiful and healthy when I take Shakeology. And so that's what I share on my Insta stories, and that's what I share on my social media walls. And then, of course, you can do a call to action. Insta stories are fantastic for call to actions, you guys. People have kind of steered away from those generic posts where it's like, hey, come join my group with this like beautiful pick monkey image that we used to do 3 years ago, right? But call to actions on Insta stories are fantastic because you can engage with people. You can go with objections. People give you objections. You can handle them publicly on a story and talk about them. Talk about the financial situation where if you felt like you couldn't afford it and what you were able to get over mindset wise to be able to invest in that challenge pack. You can address that with your audience as they silently watch, right? But you're answering their questions and you're handling their objections in the Insta story. And of course, there's other examples here for Tuesday. We've got BOD, how easy it is, how access friendly it is. One of the things that I like to do is I'll do Instagram Live or Facebook Live. I'll grab my little Roku remote, right? And I'll show them literally what it's like to sign into my Beachbody On Demand. And I get a lot of questions in my inbox like, is that a smart TV? How do you do that? That's super easy. But showing your audience how simple it is to get on a phone or a laptop or a smart TV and navigate through so much content that they have at their fingertips. Meal plans. This is like the mega wheelhouse. People love ideas of meal plans. So talking about what you're prepping, the convenience of having Fixate right there on your Beachbody On Demand. Sorry, I'm trying to pull the image up because I can't see it very well on my computer. And of course, my phone's not doing anything. But meal prepping, sharing that with your social media. You can do it creatively on Insta stories. I've seen a lot of people post, their hands making something and then showing how it's progressing over a period of time in the story. Or you can just go live on your Instagram page or go live on Facebook and share meal prepping ideas. People love that. They eat it up. Melanie Mitro is genius at that. I think a lot of her business was built around the organization of eating clean and meal prepping. Other ideas, community, self-care, live call to actions. I talked about that earlier. Successes, like we said, non-scale victories, results with Beachbody. Make sure you, guys, I say this all the time, especially for newer coaches, actually older coaches, even myself, self-evaluate. If you don't have a transformation with Beachbody in the past 6 months, there's a problem. And then it doesn't have to be like six-pack abs and you lost 100 pounds. There has to be a transformation constantly. If it's in your mindset, if it's in your body, if your pants are fitting better, if your team has grown, if your paycheck has grown, there has to be some sort of success in your journey. And like I said, do some self-evaluation. Have I changed in the past 3 months, the past 6 months? And then on Monday, kick off and share the excitement of this test group. Go over these details live with your social media audience. So having a marketing calendar, I'm a marketing major, so I kind of love them, a little geeking out about it, but having some sort of plan, and you guys take this plan and use it, pass it down to your team, and recreate this every single month. This is something you could be doing on a daily basis, making sure you pick one thing, especially for newer coaches, one thing that you're seriously going to talk about with your audience. And remember what I said in the beginning, relate it to you and your story and where you're at and what you're doing in life. Don't be generic, because people are going to connect so much more when they feel like they're being shared your story and not just, the Beachbody story. So I love you guys. This was amazing. What an incredible training. Do we have any other speakers, Jamie, after this?
Courtney Bell is going to wrap us up and give us a what's next.
All right, Courtney, take it away.
Hey guys, well, I'm going to follow that, Tana. That was awesome. And I love the truth bombs too about, if you haven't had a transformation in the last 6 months, like what's going on, because our programs deliver results. So plug into those, you guys. Every program is an opportunity for you to really focus and dial in. But I want to talk to you guys. I'm going to wrap you guys up. I'm waiting for my slide to come up here. I don't know if Jamie, you need to push that over for me, please. Thank you. Okay, so what's next, right? Like we've given you all this information. Like, what are you going to do with it? You guys, you have to take action. Like being a coach is not being an information collector and just sitting on it. Like you have to take action with the information that you have. And really what coaching comes down to is small daily activities that yield big results, that compound effect. That was one of the first books I read as a brand new coach, was The Compound Effect. And really it helped me kind of see that everything you do is working towards going somewhere, having a greater vision, having a place that you're working towards. And I know for a lot of people, they come in with
a vision and these big goals that they want to achieve, but they seem so far away. So we have to work on first breaking those down and achieving smaller milestones that are going to get you where you want to go. As long as you stay consistent, you continue to work on yourself, you do all those vital behaviors that were shared, you have a plan, and you just, use your trackers. And so that's what I want to kind of dig in with you guys tonight for a little bit. So here we go. Guys, work from the top and kind of funnel it down. So where do you want to go with this? What is Beachbody a vehicle for you? For me, it was to leave my full-time job, to have more time with my family, to, be my own boss and my own CEO and be able to have life by design. But I knew that wasn't going to happen overnight. So that was sort of like this big, scary goal I had. And I was patient with myself through the process. But I knew that in order to get there, there were smaller steps that need to happen. Okay. So the first goal I had for myself in those first 30 days, sign my first 2 coaches, go Emerald, activate my business center, make myself open to start accumulating carryover volume, allowing myself the opportunity to bring in income from more than just direct sales. But you can't get there if you don't activate your business center and go Emerald. Run there, you guys. That could be done tomorrow. That's, calling your best friend, calling your mom, talking to your spouse, whatever it is, locking arms and getting those 2 people enrolled into your organization. And then also setting the goal to change your first 3 lives in your first 30 days, right? Like start doing those activities. And maybe it's not your first 30 days. And again, it depends on what your goals are, right? Like for me, mine was income driven. It was to really replace my teaching income. So to do that, I knew I had to get started. I had to start having those conversations. And Success Club was a benchmark for me because for me, it kept me honest with my business activities. It meant that I was being a proof that the products worked because I was working on myself and I was sharing authentically. When you feel absolutely amazing in your own skin, the sharing is a little easier on social media. It's when those struggles are happening and when you're dialing back into personal development to kind of work through those things, right? But hitting Success Club for the milestone for me, it was a measure for me to know I'm reaching new people. I'm bringing new people into my business, which are going to help me get closer to where I want to go, where I ultimately want to be with my big, scary goal. So activating my business center, going Emerald, achieving Success Club, helping 3 new people get started into my challenge group or by joining my team, however it is that they, whatever path works for them and how they sign up and they join you. Setting those goals. And when I remember sitting down as a new coach and telling my coach what I wanted to do, and she kind of gave me those words because I didn't know what Emerald was and I didn't know what Success Club was. I was brand new to this community, but I knew where I wanted to go. And she helped me really break it down. So then after that first month, it was like, well, what's next? Where else are we working towards? We've got your first 3 customers. Your business is now activated at Emerald. And so it was just doing it again, achieving Success Club again, continuing to maintain them, build those relationships with the people that you had, but then also bringing in 3 new customers into your business, right? And starting to build income. So in that second month, you're actually earning income, not just covering your product. And also bringing on 2 new coaches, going Emerald again, duplicating that, continue to do those monthly, again, that compound effect. And I know Jamie Shepard does an awesome job at this with her team, but recognizing that, double Emerald, triple Emerald, because really that diamond milestone that so many people put such a huge emphasis on because it is important. It's another place to go within your business, but really it's just going Emerald every single month, bringing on 2 more coaches, right? So setting those goals for yourself and knowing that if you stay consistent in those activities, you help your coaches do the same things, you're going to build an incredible business that's full of a lot of loyal customers that have hearts of gold, that share authentically, right? Because they're going to follow your footsteps. The other piece, you guys, is that, having those action items, but, tracking them, so if you look back on, if maybe you're having a month where your inbox doesn't really have a lot of messages or there isn't as much engagement on your posts, don't keep doing the same things over and over and over again that aren't yielding the results that you're looking for. Take a step back, maybe, reach out to your success partner and ask for, them to give you an audit of your social media posts, like what's coming through, how are they reading them? And then, revising the plan. I always tell my coaches, don't change your goals, change your method. So you don't have to change where you want to go, but sometimes we have to adjust the way in which we're going to get there. So if what I'm doing is not working, don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Make those adjustments. And that's the evaluation. And for new coaches, I ask for you guys to evaluate yourself every week, like success, like rather than looking at your monthly goals, what are your weekly goals, right? Like I want to help one new person like get started with a challenge pack this week. Well, at the end of the week, if that didn't happen, why did it not happen? Was it just, was it a result of actually talking to a lot of people and timing was just off for tons of people? Or did you not invite this week? Were you inconsistent with your workouts? Whatever it might be. And again, this business allows for you to design your day how you want it to look. And like Jamie had shared, and I'm the same way too, I don't necessarily invite every single day. I sort of do it in chunks, but every week I'm inviting both into my business for, new challengers, but also for new coaches. So striking that balance there, but being consistent with it. So at the end of the week, if I don't have new sales coming through my business or I don't have new coaches enrolled, why did that happen? I can't blame it on Facebook algorithms or, whatever. Look at yourself, turn inward, dig into your personal development that you're doing and revise the plan. So how are we going to change next week moving forward? What are the things that we're going to adjust? And that would really honestly be my biggest tip for new coaches is that self-evaluation piece, because what I find happens is that when that self-evaluation doesn't happen, people get tired or they somehow determine like they're not good at this or it's not for them, but it's really sometimes like a minor tweak that just needs to happen. And when you know it, you can make a small adjustment and reach those people and bring them into your business, which help you feel really great as a coach, but also help your confidence and get them the results that they're looking for. You'll find your way. And you'll find your way because you know where you're going. You have that plan. You have it mapped out. You have clear cut goals for every single week or every single month, and you know what you're going to do. So when you sit down, you're intentional. You're not just scrolling Facebook to scroll Facebook. Facebook is, yes, it's a social media tool, you guys, but for us, are building our business on there, we have to be really intentional with our time or else we're going to find ourselves chasing a lot of squirrels, wasting time, and then finding that, this business isn't working for us, but really it's the way that we're working with the business. You can change all of those things. So in closing, you guys, set your goals, dream big. This is an amazing opportunity. This is a business that, has you can change your life. You can change a lot of other people's lives, but you have to decide that path that you're going to take. You can't just sort of wish that it happens or hope that it happens. You have to take action on it by setting clear goals every single week, every single month, and doing the self-evaluation that's going to help you turn inward and take a hard look at why things are going the way that they are, both positive or negative, and then how are you going to adjust, and course correct so that if you're not going the way that you want to go, you're going to go the direction you want to go. And it's really easy to change that if you're open and honest with yourself and willing to take feedback from others.
Court, that was awesome. Thank you everyone for joining us. Just as a reminder, when something's streamed live, that is the recording. Okay, so this video is going to live in the Beachbody Champions news feed. You can rewatch anytime, but we want you to use the comments to share your vision board, share your trackers, share those vital behaviors, share your color wheel. Let's see those posts from the social media game plan Jatana shared. Lead out loud, be a river, not a reservoir, and show us what you're implementing and the action you're taking so that if you're struggling and as you have questions, ask them and we'll be plugged into, we all commented in the comments. We're going to get notifications, or feel free to tag one of us and we'll put the link to the PDF, that's PowerPoint in there too, in the comments too, okay? So thank you for being with us a little late. I know on the East Coast, it's really late right now. That means that you are invested in your own success in your business, and that's a good sign. So thank you, ladies, for doing this with me and sharing your night. Bye, everyone.